You're listening to Hotep Ish with your host, Dewan B. Intelligent Ish Talk, intelligent shit talk, where we balance the profound with the profane. Political satire, celebrity and expert guests, information and entertainment, conversation and solutions. Leave your feelings at the door.
Won't you be my motherfucking neighbor? Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How you doing today? You reached Dewan Brown's neighborhood. Well, we're going to talk about these vulture motherfuckers coming up into our neighborhood. Welcome, everybody. What's up, Devin? Evan? Deep Impressions? Oh, shit, I actually got mods in here today. Did YouTube send out notification for once? Oh, shit. We in business. What's up, Bruce? Yeah, hit the like button. Hit the like button. My wife ain't home, so I get to smoke inside the studio today. So it's no need to be out there with them loud-ass sirens and shit during rush hour. In my studio today. Happy 420. And happy birthday to the great Luther Vandross. Happy birthday, Luther. Luther, one of the greatest to ever sing. And we must always honor our legends, you know what I mean? So before we even get started today, we're going to say happy birthday to Luther Vandross, singer extraordinaire. Happy birthday, Luther. I am not meant to live alone. Turn this house into a motherfucking home. What's Luther's card? Let me check his card. I'm going to my website. This is my website, breakthroughcards.com. What's today? April 20th, 420? Yeah, and you know I'm smoking my blunt. All right. Luther's birthday is April 20th. Oh, he's an ace of diamonds. Ace of diamonds actually are meant to live alone. Ace of diamonds people who are solid within themselves. And although they do make good partners, they can totally live a life of solitude. And that's one of those cards, if they never got married, they'd be good. So if you're born today on a 420 or March 22nd, February 24th, January 1st, January 26th, or any of these dates you see on my website, you're ace of diamonds. You do make good for it. You got to make sure your life path is to make sure that you are secure within yourself. You can't be running around looking for other people's approval. If you're an ace of diamonds person and you're looking for other people's approval, it won't work. You better get solid within your own thoughts and your own feelings. So, happy birthday, Luther Vandross, on this 420. One of the greatest singers to ever do it. Pretty soon, since it's Luther's birthday, maybe my next Incense and Ashtrays, I think I might do my next Incense and Ashtrays dedicated to Luther. So y'all be on the lookout for that. My next Incense and Ashtrays might be on Luther Vandross. I still need to do him. Luther Vandross and Frankie Beverly and Maze in my next 2 Incense and Ashtrays. It's gonna be those 2. One of those 2. So yeah. We about to get started talking about John Lake with Vulture. Vulture and motherfucker. But before we get started, watch this, and then we will get started on the other side of this here.
What's up, Larry?
Once again, it's on at the Comedy Chateau, starring DeJuan B. and Larry Goodwell, live.
Y'all give it up for the best camel jockey in America right here.
Featuring Edwanda White and Al Green.
Is there someone else?
Yep. Headliner and legend, Freeze Love.
This show is different. Make sure when Larry come your way, cover your nose because he smell like curry.
Show up so you can see me clown DeJuan Brown. I cannot stand his dumb ass.
I thought y'all was friends, baby.
Comedy Chateau, 10 p.m. Get your tickets now.
The last show sold out. This was gonna sell out.
You like the last homeless nigga in Dubai.
Saturday, April 29th, the Comedy Chateau, located at 4615 Lancashire Boulevard, North Hollywood, California. Get your tickets now at thecomedychateau.com.
Round the block, baby.
Get your goddamn tickets. So we about to get started. As we get started, I gotta play the preaching music. What's up, everybody up in the chat? Hey, on that commercial, Butter Love, was that your voice when it went, uh-oh? When the commercial started, was that you? When Larry got on stage? Butter Love came to the last show at the Comedy Chateau. Star would have made it, but that's when we had that worst rainstorm in LA history. And Star couldn't make it past the grapevine. Yeah. Bruce, you said Leguizamo is calling himself a foundational Latino American. I'm glad you said that, Bruce, because we're going to get into who is John Leguizamo. This is going to be a deep dive. We're not going to just talk about his claim to hip hop, him trying to claim hip hop. We're going to dig into who he is. And I'm going to play some videos. Every time I play video with the actual video on it, I get some kind of goddamn strike or some shit. So I'm going to keep the image up. And I'm going to, like, when I play some of these videos, I'm going to kind of, like, be pausing kind of quick just to, I don't know. They be fucking with my videos, y'all, like, for real. Every time, like, this is full disclosure. I mean, every time I get a video that hit 2,000 views by, like, within like an hour or two of y'all watching it, I get an age restriction. You know what I mean? They always, like, people, I'm over doing an Instagram live yesterday. People are like, when are you gonna be on YouTube again? It's ridiculous how they suppress my channel, y'all. So I thank y'all for tuning in and paying attention. And if And if you're not getting your notifications, unsubscribe, resubscribe, and hit all notifications, because they fuck with your boy. So I'm just trying to find my way around it. So we gonna get into who John Leguizamo is and why he's the vulture that he is. Y'all ready? All right, cool. I'm gonna start this today off by a passage from this book right here. Because y'all know me, I don't like to come from a point of view of hate. I don't want to come from a point of view of, none of that bullshit. I don't, I'm the kind of person, I fucks with people who fucks with me. You know what I mean? If you good, we good. You know what I mean? If you good, I'm good, we good. And so I don't want to come from that point of view of no bullshit. But this is a good book that I'm actually reading right now. Salute to Eitan Edwards. Eitan Edwards, I'm going to have him. I love Eitan Edwards. Y'all don't know who Eitan Edwards is. He has a book called Preparedness Now. Great dude. Eitan Edwards told me, shouts out T watching me live. Rachel, Eitan Edwards told me about this book a few days ago. And y'all know me, I'm a speed reader. So I got this book a couple days ago and I've read it a little bit of it. So I'm coming to you from the point of view that's more scientific, not hate-based, not judgment-based, but looking at things from a societal point of view, an anthropological point of view. Yeah, I know that was my minor in college right there. So that just cultural anthropology is how I see things when I'm looking at things racial. So I encourage you to buy this book. If you have Audible, it's on Audible. And it's a good book. And I'm going to read the inside cover for you before we start this, okay? Latino, this is by Tanya Katie Hernandez, author of this book, the lady you see pictured. Latinos can be racist, asserts Tanya, race law expert and professor at Fordham University. Yet our national conversations about racism appear oblivious to this fact. Hernandez observes that civil rights leaders are seemingly hesitant to air the dirty laundry of the bias that exists within communities of color, lest it distract from the real racism of white supremacy. And all that the while, Afro-Latinos and African Americans continue to suffer from discrimination at the hands of Latinos who claim that their racially mixed cultures immunize them from charges of racism. Hernandez calls this the Latino racial innocence cloak, which veils Latino complicity in U.S. racism. Again, I'm reading from this book that I have up here. Racial innocence disrupts the status quo by excavating the otherwise silenced voices of the Afro-Latino and African-American victims of Latino anti-blackness. Hernandez, an Afro-Latino law professor and expert in critical race theory, exposes the claims that Latinos' racially mixed culture shields them from bias by showing how legal case studies prove discrimination. Side note, here in California, just a FYI for everyone, the biggest discrimination lawsuit settlements in California state history have involved Latino against Black racism. I'm doing this shit off the fly. Let me look this shit up. Y'all think I'm bullshitting? California. I'm over here typing this shit live right here. Let me see here. Look at this. This is what I'm talking about. Now, this is the point of view. I'm just setting the foundation from the point of view I'm speaking from. Whenever someone's speaking to you, you always want to make sure that they're speaking from, an object as object. None of us, no person can be completely objective. That's just bullshit. But you want to be as objective as possible. So I'm trying to. Oh, what the fuck is this noise? Turn that down. God damn, Fox. Goddamn commercials and shit. My bad. Well, anyway, if you look, Black Californian detail racism they allegedly face from Latino coworkers follow massive race-based suits. This is basically an article from Fox News talking about the massive race-based suits that have been going on here in California. And this is so a lot of you are in other parts of the country where the black folks still have the larger numbers. Well, here in California, that's been a long time ago. And so, yeah, so that's just where we're coming from. Back to what we're talking about here. So in this book, I'm going to keep going through varied examples from around the country, including the workplace, housing market, schools, places of recreation, and criminal justice contexts that never make the headlines. Hernandez proves the existence of Latino anti-black racism. And so I encourage you to buy this book. And this book will put into greater context because there are a lot of people that are confused about racism. And I used to be one. If you talked to me 10 years ago, I was that judgmental dickhead saying, you should know better, man. You know how niggas get when niggas feel like they know a little bit more than the next nigga. Man, what the hell? But with age comes growth and a better point of view. And I evolved from someone who judged people for not knowing to doing my best to educate those who don't know, to have an open ear. And for those who do know, hopefully bring a greater context as to what's going on. But like anything else, if you can't use it, let it fly. I ain't gonna argue with your punk ass. Anyway, I encourage you to buy that book. It sets a platform for what we're talking about with John Leguizamo. So this was born out of, again, I was having a conversation with Aton Edwards. Look him up. He did stand up for a while, but I'm going to have Aton on pretty soon for some few things. I'm over here talking to y'all. I'm telling him that I didn't even ask him if he can come on, but I know he would come on. But Aton was actually around in New York City at the beginning ages of hip hop. Like, he used to actually do flyers for those early hip hop parties. He used to design flyers. And like at people like Africa Bambaataa, Crazy Legs, and all these early people in New York. These were the young people around. And Aton knew these guys. And he has the complete perspective when it comes to hip hop in those days. And he knows John Leguizamo. And we were talking about a conversation that he had with John Leguizamo years and years ago in New York. And talking about how much of, how this dude is. And that's how today's discussion came about. So Aton pointed me in the direction of this. I'm going to drop the first bomb on y'all right now. I'm about to pull up a clip from Finding Your Roots by Henry Louis Gates. Here it is. Y'all see it? I'm going to have it behind the screen so I don't get no copyright strikes and nothing like that. But we're going to play some clips from Finding Your Roots. What we're going to find here is Leguizamo descends from conquistadors. I was thinking about showing y'all this part later on. But I was like, nah, let me drop the bomb on these niggas right away. And from here, we gonna go about. Thank you for the super chat, Marlon Henderson. I'm not reading cards right now. I'm gonna read some cards on another show. Now we exposing this motherfucker, Leguizamo. All right. But I appreciate that. I will do a card reading. But nah, right now we exposing this. Matter of fact, I probably will read Leguizamo's cards, so we could talk about how I could tell you what's underneath his what's going on with him. But let's play some clips from Finding Your Roots. Here we go. God, okay. That's God right there. I fast forwarded directly to the right part that I needed. Thank you, Jeevus. Thank you, Jeevus. Let me see here. Y'all can't hear that. Let me see if let me open up loop back audio. Come on, loop back. Because if it doesn't work, let me try this.
Let me tell you how big he was. Your seventh great grandfather, when he died in 1765, was the richest person in the entire province.
No, get out of here. Where's my money?
He was the corregidor. That was his title.
Yeah. That's incredible.
So, let me play that part again. Oh, Famously Blacker with the super chat. I appreciate that. $100 super chat. I think that's the biggest super chat I ever got. But listen to this.
Where's my money?
He was the corregidor. That was his title.
Yeah. That's incredible.
65 was the richest. Your seventh great grandfather, when he died in
he said your seventh great grandfather when he died. Listen to this. Your seventh great grandfather when he died
1765.
In 1765
was the richest person in the entire province.
The richest person in the entire province. Question. This is just an honest question. His seventh great grandfather went into Colombia from Spain. Who goes into Colombia from Spain to do any good? I'm sorry, from Spain to Colombia. Who goes there to do any good for the locals? Just ask yourself that question. Let's keep going.
Out of here. Where's my money?
He was the corregidor. That was his title.
Yeah. That's incredible.
He was the, what word was that? Let me hear that again.
Out of here. Where's my money?
He was the corregidor. That was his title.
Yeah. That's incredible.
Look at this. John Leguizamo's grandfather. These are some images that are here. These are some of the images that are from the show, Finding Your Roots. So let's go a little deeper. It actually gets a little bit deeper. Let's keep going.
Though John's seventh great grandfather was a powerful official, we know little about his life and nothing at all about his relationship to John's seventh great grandmother, a woman named Petronila de la Chica Betuma. But turning back to the compiled notes of Rio Negro's priests, we discovered something about Petronila. She was a Native American.
So the rabbit hole gets deeper. his seventh great granddaddy, who was the richest man in the province, her seventh great granddaddy smashed a native. Do you think that was voluntary? I don't know. You put your two and two together. Let's keep going. Let me turn it off there. Let me switch my screen back so we don't get fucked up.
Noble Indian.
Noble Indian.
That's beautiful. It's very moving. I mean, I'm moved. I'm getting teary-eyed here. Yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, pride in that.
Mm-hmm. Woman named Petra.
My money.
He was the corregidor. That was his title.
Yeah. That's incredible.
He was what did it say, the corregidor? Yeah. The Coringa, that's what it is. The Coringa. I'm looking that up. The Coringa is a leader. Okay. So yeah. His great granddad was a Spanish leader. And I'm looking for the part. There's a part earlier in the video that I can't find right now where he's really breaking down to him that like they didn't really know who the father was. Hold on. Here it is.
1720s. But we had an extraordinary tool at our disposal.
Wait.
Name Emmanuel's father.
No.
And of course, this was common for
Not legitimate.
natural.
Here it is.
Described there.
Natural son. Not legitimate.
Natural.
Oh.
And as you can see, there's no mention of the name Emmanuel's father.
No.
And of course, this was common for illegitimate children.
He disappeared. Deadbeat dad.
Let's find out. Please turn the page.
Yep. So that's what I want to play for you guys. The man that raised his sixth great grandfather was not the father. So basically, we almost got like a Jesus story to where the woman was immaculately conceived a son, a child, and this regular nigga raised him, when really the baby was by the other nigga. So you get the story. His seventh great grandmother had a baby by a European colonialist that was a Spanish leader that subjugated the people of Colombia. He had a baby with a local native, who that local native raised with a different man that wasn't the father of the child. Do y'all get it? So yeah, he was a bastard. Basically, his grandmama was raped, and her husband, her real dude she was really with, was forced to raise a child that wasn't his. The reason why I'm saying that is Leguizamo descends from colonizer blood. I'm establishing that. Yeah. Listen.
Unnamed father of an illegitimate child born in the 1720s. But we had an extraordinary tool at our disposal. In the 18th century, priests in Colombia often kept notes on events in their parishes. These notes were compiled by an historian in 2006.
So that's basically, this is, where I am. If y'all want to watch the whole thing, look up John Leguizamo uncovers family connection to Spain royalty on YouTube. Look it up. You see it right here. If y'all want to see the whole video, go and look it up. So this is establishing to you who he is. He's descended from Spanish colonizer. That's who he descends from. The Spanish colonizer. So keep that in the back of your mind as we go deeper into what he's talking about. Now I'm going to switch over to another video that I have. Leguizamo discovers America. This is an interview that he had. Let me see here. This was an interview that he had on MSNBC. So y'all see the video. This the video I'm playing, y'all. I'm playing from for y'all, but I'm just keeping the video covered for that bullshit. Fair use, motherfuckers, fair use. But this is the video I'm playing from, all right? All right, let's go.
And it's already streaming on Peacock, and joining us this morning, the host, the creator, and so much more, John, right, for you to showcase the contributions of all of us Latinos in this country. What did you learn along the way? I learned something by...
Hey, what's up with that Latino? I told y'all before, man. Every time they be like Latino, that's why we can't have a black and brown coalition. Nigga, I don't go around saying, like, we don't have a different pronunciation for black. They'll be talking normal as fuck. They'll be like, Latino. I didn't even know this motherfucker was Latino. I thought this was a white dude the whole time. The host on MSNBC, what's his white dude name? He look like he could play. He looks like somebody that the Italian crime bosses. You know, it's always that one dude that they be whooping his ass. He like the dude that always get his ass whooped, that always get his ass slapped around in one of them Italian movies. Now out of nowhere, this motherfucker Latino. All right, let's go.
Watching it as well.
Well, I mean, Latin people, we're the largest ethnic group in America, the oldest ethnic group. We built this country. We suffered in this country. We were... Well, I mean,
listen to that again.
Latin people, we're the largest ethnic group in America, the oldest ethnic group. We built this country.
He said, Latinos, we are the largest ethnic group in this country, the oldest ethnic group in this country, and we built this country. First off, your people come from Colombia. And before Colombia, they was in Spain. And might I remind you, the culture of Spain is the culture of Al-Andalus, the Moors. So anything good that comes from Spain still came from niggas. This dude descends from somebody who raped an indigenous woman and left the child left the woman to raise the child with someone else from Colombia. Let's just go a little deep here, okay? Okay, a world atlas. Let's just go back to the basics, shall we? Let's just pull an atlas out. Nah, I don't like this. This is the let's go to the Peterson projection map. Let's go to the Peterson projection. This is the one that the white folks like using. This is the real map. This ain't the one the white folks use. This one they don't like using. This is the real map. So here we go. Using the Peterson projection map. Let's see. I think I'm gonna use this one. Ooh, that's blurry than the motherfucker. Y'all can't see that. All right, cool. Let's put that on my screen. All right. Using the Peterson projection map. Remember, always for you adults out there, y'all got kids, always make your kids use the Peterson projection map. always make your children use the Peterson projection map. Why? Because when you look at the standard map is where Europeans lied to you about the world. And we're going to get back to Leguizamo's bitch ass, but let's take care of this business real quick. This is the map that they give us. Big ass United States, little ass everybody else, big ass Europe, damn near the same size as Africa. But the Peterson projection map tells you how it really is. Europe is a little ass piece of shit that's coming off the tail end of Asia. And over here in Colombia, this is where his people is from. They from Colombia, right here, right in this area. They came from Spain, right here, in the 1700s. Here's the United States over here. So let's just have a timeline, shall we? In the 1720s, when John Leguizamo's slave master daddy came to Colombia and raped his great grandmama, the United States was a colony, and my family came here in the 1660s to the colony of Virginia. So my people got here 100 years before his did, and married, not raped, but married an indigenous person. And we were building the colonies here in America while his people was down here. And while we were doing these colonies, mind you, in the 1720s, you have the Yamasee Wars going on here in Florida. You still got a lot of free black people. You got the Yamasee Wars going on here in Florida, because in the 1720s, a lot of black people were escaping down to Florida. And the Yamasee was kicking in white people's asses in the 1720s until the white folks got the Cherokee Indians to team up with them. You had the Mississippian Wars going on here in America. In America, when he says we just going back to basics. When he's in Colombia, right here, he's saying they built America, right? But his family's in Colombia in the 1720s. Now, my family's in North Carolina, Virginia. Let's go to this map. I like it like this. My family's here. You got the Yamasee Wars going on here. This is still territory owned by Spain at the time. And mind you, let's look at this connection. In the 1720s, his people down here in Colombia, they was in Spain. Like, that was Spain too. Spain is Spain. Spain owned Colombia and they owned Florida at this time. His people could have came here to Florida. His rapist ass great granddaddy who wasn't shit could have been in Miami on South Beach. But no, his punk ass said, let's go down to Colombia. So since his punk ass great granddaddy decided to go to Colombia, that's a motherfucking insult to try to claim something that we was building here when they could have easily come to Florida, because this was still Spanish territory at that time. But he didn't come to Florida. Why? Because niggas was in Florida whooping ass. That's why. From St. Augustine, here's St. Augustine. The Spanish had their first colony here in St. Augustine in 1526. Look at that Spanish building. The Spanish were here in 1526. But they got their ass whooped by them niggas and left and said, you know what? We gonna leave them niggas alone. In the 1720s, you have the Mississippian Wars here in this area, now known as Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, Illinois. You had a lot of free black people. The issue was the Natchez tribe, the Mississippians, all these different tribes was at major war with each other. And while these black tribes, the Tuscaloosa, you think Tuscaloosa is just a city. No, that was the name of a tribe. I'm just setting this foundation because there's going to be some dickhead that want to come around here later on talking about the Latinos did build America. Shut up, bitch, and listen. The Tuscaloosa was fighting the Natchez people in these Mississippian wars, while these white folks, these Europeans coming in this way, was doing like they do right now in Iraq, what they're doing in Africa, arming both sides, getting all the niggas to kill each other. And then when all the niggas was done killing each other, they came in and enslaved them niggas. And what they would do is when black folks would get enslaved, they would ship them to plantations in the North. And here in the North, in the 1720s, you still have a lot of free black people, the Algonquin tribes of people. You have the Algonquins up here. You have the Virginians, a lot of these people, these tribes. And my family at this time in the 1720s was here in this area, the North Carolina, Virginia border. This is where my family was in the 1720s. John Leguizamo, why your rapist ass, bitch ass, great granddaddy left your great grandmama to raise your great granddaddy alone in Colombia. In Colombia. This is where we was, nigga. This is where we was. This is where we was. And here, it was also wars going on in the Ohio and these areas, and the Europeans played along those schisms that we had as native people and sold the people captured in the slavery from in the North, sold them to 10 plantations in the South, and while they was catching niggas in the South, they sold them niggas to plantations in the North. And the biggest slave trade in America was the intra-continental slave trade. And while that was going on, you still had free black people, and black people during the 1720s was still making good music. We was still doing what the fuck we do. All of us weren't enslaved. But all this shit was going on in the 1720s when your sorry ass my shit froze. So I said, so there we are. That's where we are. Now let's get back to this culture vulture. Okay, we here, we back. This shit froze. I'm doing too much. We back. We back. We back. We back. They trying to freeze me. Y'all know I got the highest, best internet, and I got my internet connected to a landline. I got my internet connected to a landline, and I got like the best internet that they fucking offer. They fuck with your boy. But we back. We back. We back. So I want to get to this part right here. John Leguizamo talking about the Latino contributions to the birth of hip hop. Look at how this is titled. We back. We back. We back. All right, let's go. Just having fun with y'all. Just having fun. Just having fun. So, in this documentary that they're doing, they're trying to put the Latino contributions to the birth of hip hop. Why can't they just say, we like hip hop and this is the flavor that we bring to what you guys did, black people? Why can't they just do that? What's up, Kendall? I was just talking about A-Time and how the conversation you, A-Time and I had spurred today's discussion as I light my blunt on this 420. Blaze up, niggas. So this here is the colonizer mentality. When you can't just say, this is the Latino participation in hip hop. This is the way Latinos do hip hop. This is our twist on the way we like our hip hop. It ain't nothing wrong with that. If Latinos like their hip hop a certain way, go ahead and do it. What do BT Express say? Do it till you're satisfied. Whatever it is. Come on and do it. Do it. Do it till you're satisfied. Whatever it is. Do it. Do it till you're satisfied. Come on and do it. You can't do that. No, you got to say that you own it. So let's play a little bit of this bullshit. And I'm telling y'all right now, don't vomit, all right? Just if you got to take an Alka-Seltzer, all right, it's 420 blaze up, because weed is known to be a great stomach settler. Get some ginger ale and some weed and you'll be fine, all right? Let me put this image up so they don't give me no goddamn copyright strike, and let's hit play.
90s hip-hop institution, and arguably the most...
Here it is.
The mixtape, a New York City 90s hip-hop institution, and arguably the most democratic form of music sharing there ever was.
So first off, he's talking about the mixtape in the 90s being a contribution to the birth of hip-hop. 90s. Hey, y'all. Oh, shit. I plan on watching some basketball and doing... This show gonna go a little longer, so I hope y'all got some time. I was planning on ending this shit in about 20 minutes so I can watch some basketball, but fuck basketball. Hopefully y'all got some time to cook with me right here. We're gonna be here for a while. This motherfucker said mixtapes in the 90s. But, excuse me, does 7 come before 9? Does 8 come before 9? How can you contribute, listen to the words, how can you contribute to the birth of something 20 years after it was born? And no, I'm not going to stop smoking my blunt, you square. Get the stick out your ass. How about that? You know, I want to tell somebody to stop smoking weed. Now, how about you start smoking weed so you can get that stick out of your ass? How about that? Shit, if you smoke weed, you be a little more forgiving. Back to what we talking about. 7 comes before 9. So if you're the premise, let's go back to school when we were in school. Let's go back to school. When we were in school, your title, remember you had to have your introductory statement in your essay, in your title. Your title has to match your introductory statement. And then the body of your argument must tie back in to your introductory statement. The conclusion of your, and as you get through your essay, through your argument, each paragraph, each point further explains and goes into detail to further prove your introductory statement. Is that not how you set up an argument? I know English ain't your first language, Leguizamo, but the people who edit at MSNBC, all them white boys behind the camera, you motherfuckers know better. Y'all see how they play games with us? See, when you go to school, the lessons that we learn from school, the point of that is to tie in those lessons, how to construct an argument in English class. You're supposed to then apply that to when someone is speaking to you. If someone's telling you something, if they're not following, these rules are there for a reason in English and rhetoric. Because when you break the rules, you flaw your argument. And you take the validity from your argument when you can't put out an argument without these fallacies. So I just wanted to point out the first part, the first flaw. I just wanted to point out the first flaw. All right. And you know how I know We on point right now. Man, I got Tashina Arnold listening right now. She watching. Thank you for watching, sister girl. Talk about a legend. Talk about, that's New York right there, Jamaica, Queens. Watching in. And salute to all y'all who watching. I thank y'all for watching. So we're going to go a little bit more into this bullshit ass argument. We're going to go some more wrong image. We're done with the map. We're going to go back to say a little bit of what he said. Then we're going to keep going, all right?
Hip-hop institution and arguably the most democratic form of music sharing there ever was. And before hip-hop was really a thing, or before any radio stations saw its true potential and bothered to play it, it was DJs like Tony who would create mixes on cassette tape. You were keeping...
Hold on. So he's saying DJ Tony Touch's cassette tapes in the 90s happened before K-Day here in LA in the 80s. The first hip-hop station in America came in LA in the 80s, K-Day. And for those of you, if you remember when me and Craig Fax, when we were on 1580 KBLA, Tavis Smiley's radio station about a year ago, last year when I was on KBLA 1580, that was the studios for the original K-Day. I used to have to pass K-Day on the way home from preschool. But let's not get too detailed.
Keeping certain music alive, right? That wasn't getting on radio play.
Exactly. Nobody was playing hip-hop.
He said nobody was playing hip-hop in the 90s. DJ Tony Touch is saying in the 90s, nobody was playing hip-hop. Excuse me, didn't 100 Miles and Running go #1 when SoundScan was released in 1991? Wasn't Too Short going platinum out of his trunk in 1982? Wasn't Uptown Records and LL Cool J? LL Cool J? What? LL Cool J was 80s. Melly Mel? Ooh, come on, what? What's this nigga talking about? Y'all see how they gotta lie? Y'all see how easily these motherfuckers lie? Let's keep going.
Tony Touch and other DJs played their tapes in clubs around the city. But hip-hop's big breakthrough happened even earlier in 1977 when lightning struck. No, I mean literally, like light. So
right here, this part he goes in talking about the blackout when everybody stole a whole bunch of equipment. And he's saying that, so I'm going to skip past that part. And then we're going to go into some more of these lies.
The entire...
Oh, this is the part where he go into, there's some dude, this guy right here, he goes into, pictures. When John Leguizamo, he hit us real hard with this one because Brother Man right here was taking pictures. That's what, because if he didn't take his pictures, what would hip hop be without his pictures? That's argument number 2, pictures. Okay. All right. Let's go to the next argument. Let's go.
Hip hop back in the day were all by Joe Conzo.
Joe Conzo, man.
Yeah, Joe Conzo pictures, yeah.
Was in a group called The Mean Machine.
All right.
And this is Sugar. Never forget Big Punisher.
Oh.
Big Pun.
Go a la casa de...
That's
Latin artists. It's hip hop. It was big for me.
That record hit.
Let me go to this part I want to get to.
All right.
Oh, yeah?
All right. You know how we do. The trade.
Oh, yeah.
Where'd it go? Hold on. Where'd it go?
Tools of the trade.
Oh, yeah.
No, that wasn't the part.
I'm not.
All together, kept a lot of kids off.
Here we go.
Tables around, and that's how rap begins.
Here we go.
Like I said, we couldn't afford the equipment, and as soon as the lights went out,
everybody had equipment.
We went right for their DJ equipment, bro. Like an interest, a hobby, like
right,
art. Or
somebody rechanneled all that young energy,
yeah,
in a positive way.
Kids had nothing to do, and then all of a sudden they see somebody else break, and they.
Here it is.
What hip hop did, bro, it brought us all together.
There we go. That's the part I want y'all to hear. You hear this time and time again. Y'all know me, I study music history. They always say hip hop is theirs because hip hop brought us all together. No. It's not. Black music always, look, black music is just good. And the younger generations generally tend to like black music. And the older generations generally tend to shit on black music. So while, yes, you may have a couple Latinos or a couple white boys at the party, they usually come around at the expense of social equity back within their communities. They pay a social consequence for being around the Negroes, right? And just because you like our music, like black people are always down to be with people. Just look at us as a people culturally. We generally are cool with people. We don't, oftentimes too cool with people. And I don't care if you're listening to a documentary about jazz, about funk, about disco. Go listen to any documentary on disco. What are they going to say? It brought the gay community and the black community together. Oh, if you listen to a documentary on jazz, it brought the white teens and the black teens together. You listen to a documentary on Motown, it brought the white kids and the black kids together. You listen to a documentary on blues. Oh, that's the time that you can all be on stage and be one race. The common denominator is black culture. See, that's where math comes in. Conversation is also math. Everything has to add up. That's why if you notice we say things from time to time that doesn't add up. Because conversation is also math. Math is rhetorical. Conversation is rhetorical math. Things have to add up. And the least common, the most common denominator is black music. Whether you're talking about hip hop, whether you're talking about jazz, whether you're talking about heavy metal, rock and roll, everybody says the same thing. That's the one time we can all come together. I give you guys a homework assignment. Go watch any episode of Unsung. Go watch any TV show, any music documentary that's centered around music that we created, which is all of it. I guarantee you $10 to 1 that there's going to be a part where they say the music brought everyone together. Just because our music helps bring you together doesn't mean that you own part of our culture. That doesn't give you ownership of our culture. Just because you like what we do. Next up, I'm going to get into this right here. He had a dinner with Big Pun, the homegirl Ida Rodriguez, and Tony Yo, and so they're gonna get in talking about different aspects of Latin culture, and I'm gonna get into this, man. But we're gonna get into it in 1 second. In the meantime, I'll be back in I gotta get some more water, y'all. I'll be back in 1 minute.
What's up, Barry?
Once again, it's on at the Comedy Chateau, starring Dewan B. and Larry Goodwell, live.
Y'all give it up for the best camel jockey in America right here.
Featuring Edwanda White and Al Green.
Is there someone else?
Yep. Headliner and legend, Freeze Love.
This show is different. Make sure when Larry come your way, cover your nose because he smell like curry.
Show up so you can see me clown DeJuan Brown. I cannot stand his dumb ass.
I thought y'all was friends, baby.
Comedy Chateau, 10 p.m. Get your tickets now.
The last show sold out. This one's gonna sell out.
You like the last homeless nigga in Dubai.
Saturday, April 29th, the Comedy Chateau, located at 4615 Lancashire Boulevard, North Hollywood, California. Get your tickets now at thecomedychateau.com.
Rock the block, baby.
Yeah, nigga, get your tickets. And I'm gonna be hosting at the Tariq's Hidden History Museum next Wednesday also. So yeah, come on out. Tariq Nasheed's Hidden History Museum. I'll be hosting there next Wednesday. But I really need y'all to come out next Saturday, Comedy Chateau. I really need y'all to come out for that. I need to sell that shit out. And then tickets go on sale Saturday for Dallas, May 26th. So I will be in Dallas, May 26th. We're going to have VIP and general admission. It's going to be comedy show and meet and greet and mixer. That's going to be Slink Johnson, Black Jesus, Camaro White. We going to get it in. Larry Goodwell. So y'all going to get to see Black Jesus live in Dallas. And it's going to be live and interactive. Y'all can ask questions and shit from the audience. Because I love improvising with you niggas when I'm on stage. But back to what we talking about. We here. Thank y'all again for listening. Let's get into this part right here. Oh shit. Nope. Browser share. Here we go. We on the right screen now. So this is a dinner that they're having talking Latino culture, which I think is cool. I think people should be able to talk their culture, and not be bothered by nobody else. I don't have any issues with that. What I do have issues with is when your discussion of your culture infringes on what my culture created. That's where my issues come in.
We don't get our due like we deserve.
To me, Sergio represents Broadway. And legendary rapper Fat Joe and Tony, they're all about hip-hop. And Aida, she's the comedy world.
So they're having a Latino. The whole point of this discussion is they're discussing Latin culture. But in discussing Latin culture, why do you need this motherfucker here? Not him. Why you need him? But
they're all about hip hop and Aida.
Wait, this part.
Please welcome.
No, what the fuck just happened? I don't want to see no damn Sherry Shepherd.
I'm so glad you made it here to the special restaurant. So home. I brought you.
Let me fast forward. If we're talking about Latino culture, I mean, why do you need, like, if you're talking about hip hop, why, what, huh? Does that look Latino culture to you? That's not. I remember right back in the 90s. That's not how y'all dressed in the 80s, in the 70s. That looked like black culture right there. Look how they wearing their hats. First off, wearing baseball caps. That's our shit. Wearing baseball caps to begin with. You might wear no fucking baseball caps until niggas started putting them on in the 80s.
About hip hop and Aida, she's the comedy world.
And another thing, comedy. Go back to my Black American stand-up, my Black American music tree. If I want to get real petty, stand-up comedy, because John Leguizamo comes from stand-up comedy. That's where he comes from. Stand-up comedy is an art form that the Black American created. We created this art form. Out of the same juke joints, you get the blues. Out of the same juke joints, you get jazz. Out of the same juke joints, you get sketch comedy. You get stand-up comedy. So the industry of stand-up comedy is a Black American art form. The industry of hip-hop is a Black American art form. So two of the art forms represented in this broadcast stems from Black American culture. But notice this. Why am I bringing this up? I'm not bringing this up to be petty. I'm bringing this up because the whole time they're having this discussion, I'm not going to play the whole discussion. It's never black and brown. It's just Latino. Let me say that one more time. When they're talking, it's never black and brown. It's only Latino. Which is fine though. I don't have an issue with that either. That's more of a message to you sorry ass, weak ass, weird ass niggas that got a black and brown everything because you scared. This isn't telling them that they should change. Quite the contrary. I'm totally cool with them only talking Latino issues. I feel anytime you're having a discussion about race and it's just you in the room, you should only talk about yourselves. And if it's you with other people, you should only speak from the point of view that's going to empower you and your group. You minimize your power when you say you and. A lot of women out there be like, black, we don't like racism nor and misogyny. You just diluted your power. I don't like racism and environmental racism. What the fuck is environmental racism? I don't like racism and medical racism. No. Nigga, focus. So they're having this discussion on Latino culture. Never once bringing up black people or never once saying black people, thank you for creating an industry known as stand-up comedy for me to thrive in, John Leguizamo. Oh, shit, we got Eduardo up in this motherfucker. Salute to you. They're not saying, and then again, this comes down to this cultural respect. Where's the respect? They're not saying anything like, when they have this discussion, they're not saying anything about, thank you black people for creating an industry known as stand-up comedy for us to thrive in. They're not saying thank you for creating an industry known as hip-hop for us to thrive in. They have their own. Fat Joe's from Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico got its own music. I don't know where he from, but where the fuck he from got its own music. I know he from somewhere else because every time he says Latino, he goes Latino. Anytime your accent change, you ain't from here. And you do that on purpose. It's called code switching. You know you're doing that because it's within the Latin culture to pronunciate certain words certain way to show that you still down with the indigenous Latin, or there's no such thing as indigenous Latin, but for argument's sake, the indigenous Latin culture. That's why they change the inflection on how they speak. It's a sign of showing that they're on code with their cultural heritage, which is fine. I don't have an issue with that at all. At all. But they have their own music that they're not famous. Just take note, black people. They're not famous because they play music from their indigenous cultural backgrounds. They're famous because they do black music. He puts together black mixtapes. He didn't put together no mixtape with nobody going doonch, 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 doonch. A nosotros vimos a la cuatro o nosotros. It ain't one on his mixtapes. It ain't nobody. Fat Joe ain't rhyming over nobody playing no goddamn cowbell. Fat Joe ain't rhyming over nobody with maracas and merengues and shit. I ain't heard one shaker in Fat Joe's music. Yeah, I'm lucky because I'm over here in my office right now, and usually I got a maraca over here. I think my wife took it. Damn. I was about to play my shaker for y'all. God damn it, where my shaker at? Because I have all kinds of instruments around here. Damn it. Oh, I took it out to my man cave. Fuck. I was about to play some of my motherfucking shakers for y'all. But it ain't none of that going on. Ain't none of that going on. They making music off what we do. They got their own sound. Since I can't play they sounds, I'm going to play some of my sounds. I think I deleted that that playlist. Damn it. I was going to play some of my sample pack sounds. No, that's me on the drums. I thought I had my damn it. I thought I had my Afro beats and my Latin pack. Damn it. I don't have them in here. I thought I had my sample packs in here because I was going to play some sounds for you guys when it comes to Latin music. There's a difference between black music and Latin music, and it all comes down to the beat. You dig what I'm saying? And in the beat is the sound and the difference. Let me see my live drum samples. Let me see here. Sample pack. Let me see. Let me go to that sample pack. Is that? Here you go. I only got my Afrobeat sample pack up. I don't have my Latin pack up. Baby. Let me see. Hey, here we go. That's me on the drums. Let me go to one of my other ones. I'm playing this for a reason. Hear that? Hear that? That swing? That's how their music sounds. This here. Hear that shaker? Wait. No, that's not it. That's not. Here we go. Hear that? That's they sound. It gets your hips moving side to side. That's they sound. They sound. That's they sound. We have different sounds. This is our sound. Wait, no, here we go. Way different. This is our sound right here. No, not that one. Not that one, not that one, not that one, not that one, not that one. Here we go. We got a different beat. Why am I playing this? I'm playing the different beats because when they try to take ownership of our music, I'm trying to be as thorough and comprehensive as possible. When they play our music and take our music, they're taking credit for a beat when we live in distinctly different sounds. When I do my Latin sound packs and my Afrobeat sound packs, I basically play the same beat. The difference is when I'm doing Latin sound packs, I layer it with cowbells, merengues, shakers, versus when I do and when I do Afrobeat sound packs, same beat, but I layer it with more drums, conga drums, the wood blocks and things like that. A more earthy sound. The Afrobeat sound, the Latin sound, it goes by a different beat. It goes by a different swing. It goes by a different groove. The black sound goes by its own groove, and it's distinct only to us as Black Americans in North America. And it's that groove and it's that sound that hip hop is based on. Hip hop is based on the one. I wish I could goddamn play some real music for y'all, but I can't. This is what we play. No, not that one. That's disco. That's mine. This is us. there with it. When we play some slow music, we here with it. 2-4. 2-4. When they play their music, this is where they at with it. No, not that one. That's one of our grooves. That's one of our grooves. That's one of our grooves. Here they are. This is where they at with it. Can you try to rap off that? MCs. Try to rap off that. MCs, rappers. Rap to that. Speak to that. Go rap. Rhyme. Can you imagine Fat Joe trying to rhyme to that? Can you imagine Fat Joe coming out to this? Would Fat Joe have ever made any kind of musical impact rapping to this shit? And yes, that's me playing every instrument. But can you imagine Fat Joe trying to rap to that? It never would have worked. They never could have made mixtapes to that. They had to do it to our beat. So to sit on our shoulders and say that they built America, that's insulting. Let's get into it more. Let's get into it more. Let's get into it more.
We dive in starting with something that seems like it's pretty basic, what we call ourselves. But
well, that's the Latin part. Let me go to this part.
I like Hispanic, you know.
Those are just inclusive terms that younger people have created.
Oh, that's him talking about with Latinx. Salute to Ada. Ada Rodriguez, she ain't, me and her we've had long conversations about this whole thing. And I'll say this, Ada Rodriguez is one of the ones that respects. She respects she has respect. Ada Rodriguez understands. She be mad as fuck at me because I be going so hard. Anytime I see Ida, she be looking at me. When I saw her, I went to a party and she was at that party a couple months ago, and she looked at me. She was like, "Am I not FBA enough to be around you?" Being all silly and shit. But I don't know what it is. But this whole show, I will say this: Ida, like, if you listen to Ida, yeah, you weren't. I don't want you to feel that I'm. This is any way directed towards you, and I'm not saying that because we cool. I'm saying this because when I watched this, I'm tell y'all the truth. When I was watching this, I was hoping Ida said some bullshit so I could have called her and argued. We be arguing like a motherfucker. I wanted her to say something like that so we could argue, but she didn't. So I got to give Ida credit. I don't want her to feel like she's being included in this. Leguizamo is the one asking the questions, but this whole interview, she never stepped on our toes. And that's all I can say for it. If you're going to talk about your Latino shit, all you want to talk about, I'm cool with that. Just don't step on our fucking toes.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. You support your community, yeah.
We're just getting the light shined on us right now, but we've been here. And you know what I make the practice of being able to celebrate us without having to bring anybody else down. Like,
you heard what she just said? That's the Ida Rodriguez I know. That is the Ida Rodriguez I know.
Bring anybody else down.
Say it one more time.
Having to
wait.
What I make the practice of being able to celebrate us without having to bring anybody else down. Like, you know.
And let me tell you something. That's who she is in real life. And that's part of the reason why she's always so goddamn mad at me when I be going hard. She be like, "Dewan, you." I'm like, "Hey." But that right there, I played that part as an example of you can celebrate your culture without having to bring the next person down. You can celebrate your culture and what you do without having to bring anyone else down. Yes, Ida does have black kids, but that doesn't mean anything. A lot of people have kids by black dudes and they still be racist as fuck. Ida's not one of those. Ida's not one of those. She's a real one. So I played that part as an example of Latinos can most definitely get in their circles, discuss their own issues, trials, and tribulations without having to bring us up. Ain't no issues with that. Let's keep going.
No, because there's always this comparison thing when it comes to people of color. I do believe that we have gotten so divided.
Let me see here. Go to this part.
Everybody else up and build yourself.
And listen, this hypocrite.
Everybody else up and build yourself up. Yeah. But that's not the way it really works. When you can build everybody else up and build yourself up and create a community.
I've always been for my.
See, then here comes Leguizamo, because Ida said that. Now Leguizamo will be like, you ain't got to put nobody else down. But this the dude in the other interview when he wasn't on with Ida said that Latinos built America and fought the only people who fought in every other war. Now here's Fat Joe talking.
My Latino brothers and sisters, anything they doing positive, anything they doing to get ahead, I'm proud of everything we do that's in the positive. Well said, yeah.
Fat Joe did not say black and brown, did he? Fat Joe said, I'm proud of everything that we do. He didn't say, I'm down with everything black and brown. He said, me, nigga. Fuck all that shit. And I want to go back to this interview here, because the way Leguizamo closed out this interview, I want y'all to hear this real quick. The way he closed it out, because it gives you an insight as to where his point of view is coming from. And I thought this part was very interesting, and I want y'all to hear it.
Puerto Rican music and culture into the United States.
Freestyle.
You're doing you got to do Afro-Cuban by some of the segments of this series that were really powerful, and I thank you for doing it. You got to do more of these, man. You got to do Afro-Cuban and the influence of Puerto Rican music and culture into the United States.
See, that part, that's part of the part. He said Puerto Rican music and Latin and salsa music. I wonder if they do salsa music. Let me do something real quick. Google with me here. Here we go. I wonder if when they talk about salsa music, will they talk about this song right here by Dizzy Gillespie? I know I'm not going to hit play because I don't want no copyright. But look up this song right here, Manteca. This is the first ever recorded Latin jazz song, because salsa music started in New York when the Latin sound was coming over to the Cotton Club and the Savoy and mixing with bebop. And the merger of the Latin sound, that's why it's called salsa, with bebop is where you get salsa music. That's also where you get bossa. Bossa nova is bebop as interpreted through Brazil. Salsa is bebop as interpreted through New York. Latin jazz is bebop as interpreted through the Latino Caribbean islands. And another one is a song y'all need to look up is Senor Blues. Giving y'all homework assignments. Senor Blues by Horace Silver.
We like
you see how black that man is? I can't play it. I can't play it. I can't play it. But see all them Negroes? There's your sauce. There's your early Latin jazz right there. That's your early Latin music. This is your early Latin music from niggas. I wonder if they're going to cover that. I just wonder if they're going to cover that. Let's keep going.
Without Latin freestyle, there would be no pop. I want to do all those things. That's exactly
right.
Hold on.
Puerto Rican music and culture into the United States.
Without Latin freestyle, there would be no pop.
He said without Latin freestyle, there would be no pop. Without Latin freestyle. What's Latin freestyle? Jazz is freestyle music. What the fuck is he talking about? Scatting is freestyling. Stand-up comedy and freestyle. Blues. What is he talking about? My grandparents in Mississippi didn't know about no damn Latin nothing when they was freestyling. What's this dude talking about? Let's keep going.
I want to do all those things.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Yep. And then I'm glad that you did some dominoes and you did a lot of other things as well.
Yeah.
All
I mean,
in
I
this
suck
series.
at dominoes, but yeah.
He did dominoes too. The game we play.
Un abrazo, hermano. Thank you. Man. Really good to see you.
But no, that wasn't the, that was I wanted. It was something. It was one of them other interviews. I can't find that other interview. That I'm not gonna look for it. But basically, that's the parts that I wanted to play, and how you see the through line. And this isn't an aspersion on all Latinos, because you know the darker someone like an Ida Rodriguez will be back at home will be a victim to somebody like a John Leguizamo because of the color coded scale system that they have in Latin America. She will be a victim of someone like a John Leguizamo. Because he descends from conquistadors. That's why I started tonight's show talking about where he comes from. His bloodline. Bloodline of the conquistadors. That's where he comes from. And that through line is coming through trying to conquistador black culture. But let me tell you something, John Leguizamo. The black American is not a broken people. The Latinos in your home, they may be done fighting, but we never stopped. So if you think you're going to do that same shit that you pull in Colombia, here in America, game on, motherfucker. Game on. And let me say something. This is, and I say this with love and compassion. I don't say this as a judgment to people say it. But get the word colonizer out of your vocabulary. That's an empowering word to them. They see themselves as colonizers, and they don't see nothing wrong with being a colonizer. So when you call them a colonizer, you affirm their position. You don't think Disney put that in the movie Black Panther for a reason? We didn't call them colonizers before the first Black Panther. That came into the lexicon after the first Black Panther. And we've been using it the same way we were using I Can't Breathe. Y'all see how them affirmations work? In 2012 and 2013, we were going around saying I can't breathe. The ones that no one was that. Well, no. 2016, George Floyd, 26, something like that. No, that was before George. It was one of them. Was it Eric Gardner? It He was one of them. I don't pay attention no more. But niggas was going around for 4 or 5 years saying, I can't breathe, I can't breathe, I can't breathe. And then 2020 happened. America said, put the mask on, nigga. Now you really can't breathe. See how negative affirmations work? It starts in good faith, you know, because your intentions are good when you say it. You're just trying to bring out a point. So it's said out of innocence. That's why I'm not saying it from a judgmental point of view. It's said out of innocence. It's said out of, you know, really trying to drive home a point. But words are powerful. You go around saying, I can't breathe. Boom, boom, boom. Coronavirus. Put on a mask. Can't breathe. You don't want to empower them by calling them colonizers. I call them bitches. I call them hoes. I give them the most disrespectful names that I would give somebody that disrespected me personally. I call John Leguizamo. I say he has a colonizer mentality, but he's really a lizard. He's a slime ball. He's scum. He knows what he's doing. He ain't no colonizer. He's a dickhead. He ain't no colonizer. He's a, you know, acting like an old punk motherfucker. That's what he is. Old punk ass motherfucker. That's what he is. He ain't no damn colonizer. John Leguizamo is somebody that doesn't know who he is. Is not proud of who he is. Y'all remember he was going around calling himself Puerto Rican back in the 90s? An Italian? Motherfucker's Colombian. But back in the 90s, he was telling y'all he Puerto Rican. That's somebody who doesn't like themselves. John Leguizamo is insecure. He's vulnerable. He's not authentic. He's not a colonizer. He be on some hoe shit. He ain't no colonizer. Yeah, his pops aired him out. He's a lizard. Oh, Aton's listening, Kendall? Oh, shit. What's up, Aton? Go back and listen to the beginning, Aton. I shouted you out. Oh, shit. Aton Edwards is listening, man. I be feeling like, man, I know some dope-ass people. Aton is like one of the most interesting men in the world. That brother's interesting. I like that dude. Very honored to meet him by phone. Very honored. But yeah, so Leguizamo is somebody who we see who he is. So we see the through line, and that's why I say we can't do the black and brown thing. Not because we're evil or mean. We do that because as culturally we have an open heart, and we have an open heart and compassion through line for people that we feel join us in oppression. But if you go back and watch that MSNBC interview, when John Leguizamo is talking about Latin culture, he's talking about Latin culture, not black and brown. Pay attention. Peep game. Peep game. Peep game. And that's all I'm saying. Pay attention to what's going on. Let me see what some of y'all think. Last time I tried to use Skype, this shit froze. Y'all want to call in? Call in. But before you call in, I want to hear what some of y'all got to say. But before you call in...
What's up, Barry?
Once again, it's on at the Comedy Chateau starring Dewan B. and Larry Goodwell live.
Y'all give it up for the best camel jockey in America right here.
Featuring Edwanda White and Al Green.
Is there someone else?
Yep. Headliner and legend, Freeze Love.
This show is different. Make sure when Larry come your way, cover your nose because he smell like curry.
Show up so you can see me clown DeJuan Brown. I cannot stand his dumb ass.
I thought y'all was friends, baby.
Comedy Chateau, 10 p.m. Get show tickets now.
The last show sold out. This was gonna sell out.
You like the last homeless nigga in Dubai.
Saturday, April 29th, the Comedy Chateau, located at 4615 Lancashire Boulevard, North Hollywood, California. Get your tickets now at thecomedychateau.com.
Yeah, nigga, get your goddamn tickets. I'm over here on a blank screen. Let me go back to the other one. There we go. There we go. What's up, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, what's up, brother Dwan? This is
Hold on, caller. Hold on. I can't hear you. Hold on. All right, talk now.
Can you hear me now?
I hear you now. Yes, I hear you. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, brother. This is Brother Aton calling. I saw.
Oh shit, Aton. Hey.
Hey, man. This is a great show. I'm glad you did it. And you're right on point in the way that you're doing it. Just too much bad, ridiculous information being hurled by this guy. And you know what? Listen, I've known this guy for a long time, and this is going back over 30 years at this point. And when I first met him, he told me, and my ex, Kim, who's all your audience is Kim Coles from Living Single. And we used to go to this place called the West End Cafe, which was in Broadway and 100 and something Street in Manhattan. John, myself, a guy named Steve Solis, used to call him the Fat Ninja, all used to hang out and talk. And back in those days, he was Leguizamo, Puerto Rican Italian, right? That's what we knew him as. And so now he's become the activist, right? All well and cool, but when your activism borders on, like, I don't know, it's like comedy or whatever it is, some of the stuff that he's saying is just absolute nonsense. But he's given this platform by, my old crew and team up at MSNBC, and they gave him a show, and he's out there just throwing all of these bad facts, just terrible facts. It doesn't even make any sense. And so I'm glad that you did this program to kind of like spell out this dynamic that nobody wants to discuss, but everybody has to, and that is this, so-called constructed aggregate term called, Latino to define these people from south of the border, in that sense, of people that were. This is part of the Spanish Empire. This is part of imperialism. If you are Latino, that's a forced identity. I mean, for the millions of indigenous people who were systematically not only invaded, but conquered, not so much by even force, but by the diseases that they brought from Spain. And the atrocities committed over the centuries, the stuff that Imperial Spain had them do to the indigenous people down there. And they're still recovering from this impact. They're still recovering from all this. And it's not ended. It's like we're still in the midst of it. I don't know, brother, I know you're familiar with what happened with the Wakanda Forever, right?
Yeah. Let the people know.
Well, you know what I'm talking about. In the Wakanda Forever movie, you had an indigenous brother, his name is Tena Huerta, and he played old-time character called Submariner. And they changed the identity, and a lot of people were upset about it, but not as upset as a lot of these people down in Mexico and Latin America who resented that they had an indigenous brown-skinned person represent Mexicans, and how they felt that Marvel was creating division, and that's what they were doing in Latin America. And the brother Tena Huerta, who has no problem with talking about this, he even has a video called Mexico So White, right? And Mexico So White. This issue they don't want to talk about it, right? And so Leguizamo goes on television And I heard some of the things that he said that Latinos created America, just not even recognizing just how tone deaf and insulting a statement is like that to the millions of black people, that the economic platform, the economic foundation of this country was built on black people. It was not built on these Latinos, which is a construct, which is basically a term, an aggregating term that the U.S. Census in 1980 decided to use. It came from the 40s, but it wasn't anything people were even using, other than 30 years ago when this started. And in taking all of this multitude of cultures and then basically giving them a colonial stamp, right? As if the grandfathers and the grandmothers raped and butchered and slaughtered by the Spaniards, the conquistadors, who didn't really come over and conquer anything. They come off of their ships and unfurl. That is, what is it? The 1513 Spanish requirement. I hope that your listeners go look up what the Spanish requirement is and read through that. And that doctrine that they used to spew to sometimes empty beaches. Also, our Savior Jesus Christ told us to come here and take everything that you have. And this imperial mentality, you take all these nations of indigenous people and then convert them over to you. This is all forced. Everything's forced, right?
All under that doctrine of discovery.
Doctrine of discovery, that's right. And the fact of the matter is that, so we're still kind of living in the wake of the Spanish conquest. And then his arrogant behind gets on television talking about, sitting with, which I'm kind of sad that Dr. Gates didn't kind of like go into the fact that, well, that means that your seventh great grandfather was the conquistador, the descendant of the conquistadors, imperial Spain. You had to kill a lot of indigenous people to get as rich as he did.
Yes.
Right? But they didn't want to go there. So you doing this show is opening a door, and I'm glad that there are real people out there like Aida Rodriguez who really tells the truth about this situation. And, there's always been people like her, or Felipe Luciano, and people like that who've been talking the truth. But there's always going to be that mestizo, white-leaning person like Leguizamo who's going to go and spew out all of this foolishness because it gives him talking points and gets him press. I see you, John. I see you, John. And I will see you again.
Yes. Man, A-Time, thanks for calling, brother. I want to do a whole show with you pretty soon.
No, listen, I can't just keep it moving, brother. I am listening. I am laying here. We are enjoying this program.
Thank you again. Thanks for calling in.
All right, brother.
All right. Yeah, that was A-Time Edwards, man. That is one of the coolest brothers. Y'all want to get his book Preparedness now? I got that echo going on. Hold on. Let me turn this echo off. How's that? That better? That better? I was over there sounding like God. I should have said, "Come thee." Let me turn it back on. Come thine children, for the divine has said so. Thank you for calling in, A-Time. Major honor. Major honor. But honestly, after A-Time called in, I don't know if I'm talking to nobody else. That was one of those mic drops. Sometimes being constructive is knowing when to end. Because people got things to do. And so I said, so thank y'all for listening. And just know that people like John Leguizamo, people say, okay, what do we do? Why are we having this conversation? Let's end this today with solutions. Y'all know I love to end with solutions. Here are the solutions for today's discussion, okay? The solutions is to know yourself, know your culture, and speak up. When others infringe on your culture, speak up. Because they can only do it with our silence. They can only do it with our complicity. If we don't comply, they can't do it. If we don't give in, they can't be successful. We have to make sure that we speak up for ourselves. We know the truth. Make sure that we pass the truth down to children and to each other. Each one teach one. And we have pride in who we are and who we come from. And for people like John Leguizamo, let's look at them, let's laugh, let's use them as case studies as to how not to interact and how not to be disrespectful to other people in their culture. Don't be like that. Be like what Ida Rodriguez said. You can big up your culture and your people without putting someone else down. You can do this without having a culture war. We as black people do it all the time. We do it all the time. All the time. We don't go around talking about how we created what you like the most. We just let y'all have it. But them days are over with because our silence has allowed you motherfuckers to run wild. So enough of that. Time for us to stand up on our own. All right. I was going to read some of his cards, but I think I might do that another time. Let me just see. I did read his card. Oh yeah, I did read it earlier. I read it. He's an ace of diamonds, I think. No, that was Luther Vandross's card. Let me see here. What's John Leguizamo's birthday? Just real quick. Oh, he's July 22nd. Y'all know me. July 22nd? Real quick. I told you I was going to leave, but go to my website. This is my site. BreakthroughCards.com. July 22nd. July 22. Oh, he's a 6 of clubs. The compromiser. 6 of clubs will fall for anything. They will compromise their values. 6 of clubs, their value, they don't really, like, they compromise their values very easily, people who are 6 of clubs. Prince Charles is also a 6 of clubs. They're either going to be one of two ways. Either they're going to be compromising with you, or they're going to compromise it. Most times it's themselves. They compromise their own values. They almost don't even have any values, 6 of clubs people. On the low end. On the high end, they're compromising of you. But on the low end, 6 of clubs people generally don't have any values. They'll go whatever the fuck you say is cool. On the low end. So yeah, watch out for that nigga. I'm not going to go too deep into his cards But get your book at BreakthroughCards.com. And I will be having my card reading class coming up real soon. All right? But thank y'all again for listening. Well, let me see here. Yeah. He's 6 of clubs. Yeah, you got to watch out for that motherfucker. But salute to everybody. And remember this. There are no perfect messengers, only perfect messages. For those willing to pick up the game, go to BreakthroughCards.com right now for your reading. All right, I'm out.